Spoiler warning, the recent assassination attempt on President Donald Trump was not a hoax. But that doesn't stop people from coming up with all sorts of crazy theories that it was. So Matt Christiansen is here. He's going to be showing or talking about the hoax theories of the third Trump assassination attempt. Let's get into it.
After yet another terrible attack on our president and, by extension, our country.
Yeah, who knows how many at this point. I think last I saw, I think it was 5 known assassination attempts, and who knows how many that were keeping under wraps, how many that the Secret Service or whatever have been able to thwart without it being ever coming to light that it happened. It's wild.
I'm relieved to see a silver lining in people coming together, putting aside political differences to unite instead on what we share in common.
Is that happening?
No, not foundational American values. Don't be ridiculous. On the bipartisan suspicion that this must be a hoax or some kind of inside job.
What? He said, what? Wait, no, I've seen crazy leftists saying that they think it's a hoax, but I haven't seen the right saying it. Let's. Oh man, I'm about to leer. I'm gonna leer real good.
The suspicion is so strong that even Congress's most bitter girl boss rivalry is finally healing.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry about what she said about your eyelash-induced brain rot.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No,
what you're
ain't
reading.
nothing.
Hold on.
And
Oh my gosh. Oh, our politicians are so embarrassing.
sorry about what she said about your vibrant hair and your very robust figure.
Bleach blonde, bad built butch body.
A what now?
They have yet to
Oh, all of them are embarrassing.
reconcile formally, but Marjorie and Jasmine have come together on the principle that Saturday night's attempted assassination of Trump and anyone else in the way was not what it appears to be. Jasmine posted that maybe relaxed gun laws explain this, as though simply having a gun prompts one to a cross-country murder quest.
What? Oh man. I'm not brain rotted enough to be able to make that make sense. Okay, so it's the lax gun laws and maybe it's lax gun laws, maybe it's lack of mental health funding, or maybe it's fake. I think it's a lack of asylums. It's a lack of putting some of these people in boxes before they try to attempt murder. Now, I know that's a complicated thing. I don't want people arrested when they haven't done anything wrong, right? Like we don't know. We don't have precognition of wrongs that are going to come. But there's certain people that they just cannot interact in society in a normal way. They can't interact in society in a way that's healthy and safe for others. So I don't know. What do? You just wait until they do hurt someone? I guess that's what we have, but we used to have mental asylums, and there's all sorts of problems with that too. I know, but then at least innocent people weren't getting hurt. Anyways, I'm crossing over some other stuff that I've watched recently into my head into this conversation. This isn't about that. This is about the shooter that attempted to assassinate Trump. And I'm not sure that he would have belonged in an asylum to begin with. I do think he drank the haterade. I read his quote-unquote manifesto, and it seems that the guy has serious TDS. He believes everything that the media has been spewing, the lies that they've been pushing about Trump for the last 10 years. He believes every bit of it. And if I believed all of those things to be true too, then to some extent, I'm like, okay, it's making sense that he did that. And that's why I don't think this is fake, because he seemed to actually believe those things. But then we have people who have to believe that it's fake. And it doesn't make any sense to me.
Maybe it's a lack of mental health funding, as though sitting on a couch for a few $100 an hour would have alleviated this guy's blue sky-induced psychosis and not worsened it. Or maybe it's just fake. And just like Marjorie said about her eyelashes, Jasmine knows fake, so she must be onto something. Perhaps that's why Marjorie is at least somewhat convinced, though it wouldn't be fair to say that Marjorie is calling this a hoax. She's not. She says, "I'm not saying it's a hoax, actually."
Good.
At least about Butler. "I'm just reposting others with very long, detailed descriptions about how that one was a hoax."
Okay. You know, sometimes people repost because they think it's funny that someone's being so stupid, so they repost their stuff. Giving her the benefit of the doubt, maybe that's what she's doing.
In this case,
Though she probably doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt. Never mind. She's just wilding.
whether it's fake or not, it's just very suspicious that this guy's manifesto was released immediately. So many
Why? I'm not sure why that's suspicious. He sent the manifesto off to several people. It's like it became public very easily.
questions about him. It would also be very suspicious if this guy's manifesto was withheld or
Yep, absolutely.
never released at all. See, if they don't give us information, that's because they're keeping secrets. If they do give us information, that's because they want us to believe the narrative. Whatever.
Whereas, that's the same sort of logic that I've seen from others who it's from the left at large has said for years, Trump is literally Hitler. And now, every time there's an assassination attempt, if they succeed in the assassination attempt, good. If they fail, well, then it's just someone that Trump put up to it to fake an assassination attempt. It's like, come on. There's no winning with these people.
Whatever's true, it is proof that hating Trump is a core value strong enough to repair even the most thoroughly burned bridges. So I look forward to the Marjorie Jasmine reunion tour coming soon, and I certainly hope it's more roast comedy. But of course, the hoax claim is just one way of processing and rationalizing one's view away from the simplest explanation. When you routinely call the president a fascist dictator, many will believe there's something noble, heroic, indeed necessary about trying to kill the
Exactly, yeah.
fascist dictator. So they try it. Well, actually, there's nothing abnormal going on at all. That's another rationalization strategy. What do you mean Trump is getting attacked a lot? People tried to kill Obama and Biden all the time. In fact, Trump has to catch up. Don't you remember? This is all just part of the job. Yeah, well, if you don't remember 11 supposed Obama assassination attempts, because I certainly don't, this guy's counting things like a guy shooting 25 rounds at the White House when Obama wasn't even home.
Oh, yeah. What an assassination attempt.
In fairness, that guy did say he was trying to kill Obama, even if he totally misread the president's schedule, but that's by far the most convincing example. Others include a guy talking about killing Obama at a Waffle House in North Carolina without ever taking any action.
Okay, so not an attempt at all. Like, literally not an attempt.
And two guys who tried to build a so-called death ray
Oh, God.
X-ray device to get Obama. These supposed Klansmen even consulted with their local Jews for help constructing this focused energy weapon.
Oh, I'm sorry. The idea that they tried building a death ray and they tried to get advice from the Jews at a synagogue to. Oh, man, I needed that laugh. Oh, I had not heard of this. This is amazing. I need a movie about this. Someone make a movie about the death ray plot. I want to see it.
Since they are the experts. They tried to ask Marjorie first, but she just got pissed off.
Tell us about Jewish space
No,
lasers.
why don't you go talk about Jewish space lasers? And really, why don't you f off? How about that?
The point is, the number of
Jewish space lasers. Some of y'all are crazy out there.
actual gunshots or laser blasts taken at Obama or Biden as president is zero. The number of people who even got close enough to try it is zero. The collateral damage in these supposed Obama or Biden assassination attempts is also zero. In the Trump attempts,
Yes.
however, there's been realized injury and death. Okay, fine.
Yes.
So there have been more serious attempts on Trump's life, but that's really his fault, isn't it? Outside of Marjorie and Jasmine, that is the preferred congressional cope. Trump's own words explain why people want to shoot him.
Threat levels that are going up in part because of the president.
When people talk
No, it's because people have been convinced that he's something that he isn't.
about destroying civilization,
And I'm not saying he's some sort of saint. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe this, like, Trump is some Christian leader who's like the new Messiah bullshit. Like, I don't believe that. He's not perfect. He's a man. But he's not Hitler either.
or calling people names, normalizing all of these things. We should try to talk about the issues and try to hold ourselves to that standard. And the president
has failed it.
And this is just, oh my gosh, this idea that, even if it was his rhetoric, let's say even if his rhetoric was as terrible as they say that it is, they say it like that justifies it. Oh, well, he said something mean, so of course people are going to try and get guns and make plots to go and murder him because he's a meanie. No, that's ridiculous. That is absurd. That is absurd behavior.
Press secretary wants to lecture America and lecture us?
Yes, absolutely. Especially you, Hakeem Jeffries. Good God, get your face off my screen.
About civility? Get lost. Clean up your own house.
Shut the... No,
Such an explanation
I'm not,
relies on the premise that words under...
I am Zen. I am a Zen bear. I just have to convince myself that I am relaxed and not constantly angry at Hakeem Jeffries' lying face.
understandably prompt violence. Apparently now words do hurt. So we're grabbing sticks and stones to go break his bones. And some have just avoided that moral mess entirely by claiming that left-wing politics have nothing to do with it. Just take the off-ramp and avoid the premise
Oh, the shooter is actually right-wing. Okay, here we go.
that this even is left-wing violence at all. You idiots, don't you know that this attempted assassin and the one before that and the one before that
Okay, I don't remember the specifics about the previous ones. Maybe he'll get into them. But this guy was a teacher in California who was a donator to Kamala Harris. I don't know what makes you think that makes him right-wing. Or are you going off of the right wing of you aren't as far right as Mao, or you aren't as far left as Mao, therefore you're right?
We're all right-wingers. I thought this was some sort of parody account. Unless I'm missing something, it appears sincere, with no supporting evidence whatsoever, yet somehow still worthy of 80,000 plus likes on X. I guess given how unpersuasive the rest of the options are, maybe the hoax theory really is the best choice if you refuse to accept the simplest explanation that calling and believing a guy is a fascist dictator creates a moral imperative to try to kill him. Of the choices, it is the most plausible, since at least there's an attempt at evidence. Because after all, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt gave the plot away mere hours beforehand.
It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room.
Because after all, the best way to conceal a super secret plot is to discuss it openly on a
saying she wasn't referring to actual gunshots. Obviously. Come on, people. Quick video interruption. I've been putting out at least one video a day. If I brought you any enjoyment, I would appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I do read all of them. Thanks. Back to the video.
National news broadcast right before it kicks off. And when the one honest reporter in the room, a Fox News reporter we'd never trust in any other context but this one, when she bravely tried to call the broadcast to reveal that truth, they quickly cut her off.
I was sitting next to Caroline Levitt, the press secretary's husband. He kind of leaned over and said, you know, I watched you on TV, you do a great job. You need to be very safe. And he was just very serious when he said that to me. And he kind of looked around the room and he said, you know, there are some...
Sounds like we lost Aisha's phone there.
I guess Caroline and her henchmen must have assassinated her, too, before she could expose the cover.
It's the only explanation.
Caroline had already exposed herself for some reason. Either that or the call dropped because there were a million calls coming from that same location simultaneously. And Caroline's husband was telling this reporter to be careful because there are always deranged, violent leftists around.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like the ones outside right now, openly advocating murder.
Yeah.
And the one who agrees with them, currently gathering his firearms and doing some hamstring stretches to get loose for his Naruto run. According to...
Dude is fast, though. I gotta admit, he moved fast.
To a Washington Post analysis published Monday, about 20% of left-wing or liberal influencer and politician posts about this attempted assassination, quote, used conspiratorial language, as the Post characterizes it. Does that mean endorsing a hoax theory? Does that mean just asking questions? They don't define, but whether this methodology is solid or not, the number of prominent progressive personalities rejecting the simple explanation is significant. So why, then? Play the theory out. Trump and his people hoaxed this attack for what reason? The theories are primarily two, and they aren't mutually exclusive. They can correspond. Theory 1, Trump is at a low point in his popularity, so he needs victim points to boost his political capital and Republican prospects in the midterms.
His numbers right now are down in the basement. His Iran war is incredibly unpopular. People are pissed as hell at the price of gas and the price of everything going up.
They're not wrong that people didn't want the Iran thing to take so long, didn't want this war going on so long. They're not wrong that people are upset about the gas prices. Sure, I can give her that.
And so people look at this and say, oh my God, is he trying to distract us again?
And that is a huge leap. A giant leap to go that far.
And I actually agree with the premise that Trump is down politically. Polling supports it, for the valid reason that Americans are wary of the economic and many other consequences of yet another Middle Eastern war. But an attempted assassination will change none of that. Well, I was very discouraged with $4 gas and ongoing military entanglement, but since a crazy guy with a shotgun ran around a hotel for a few minutes, I'm now persuaded to put up with it. No.
Yeah, it's wild thinking to believe that that would actually make the difference, and that he put this up himself. Words, Teddy, words. It's crazy thinking that he actually put somebody up to it to try and shoot at him, like, especially someone that we know that there is tons of evidence was not a supporter of Trump.
Nobody will say that because it's irrelevant to their wallet, which is why you will see polling on the economy and the war move exactly 0 points in response to this attack. Okay, well, theory 2, actually, it's all just a plot to get Trump's White House ballroom built. The project has been stalled in the courts. An off-site security threat plays right into Trump's push for the project. And look, the DOJ even made a new court filing.
Shooting prompts Trump-style DOJ push for ballroom construction to resume.
Citing this attack as a reason to allow the project to continue. And Trump went straight to the point right after the attack.
We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it.
And the propaganda was immediately effective. fooling the vulnerable with easily
You know, people hate on the ballroom, but if this was proposed by any other president, they would have no problem with it. The idea of having a large space that is controlled by the White House that can be used for these sorts of gatherings is smart. It's something that lots of other countries have. Like, it's not outlandish or weird to think to have this. I also believe that most of the funding for it came from like private funding. It's not even coming from taxpayer funding. Is that correct? I haven't looked into that deeply, but I remember hearing that. So forgive me if I'm propagating misinformation here. So take that with a grain of salt. But I believe that that's true.
Impressionable minds.
Drop the TDS. You know, let's just build this ballroom.
Why would there be any reluctance or resistance to building it?
I really don't understand. The only thing that I could explain that it's the TDS.
Thank you, John Fetterman. Oh my gosh, there is a Democrat out there with some common sense. I am so grateful to him. He gives me hope for the left to be able to pull themselves out of this spiraling tailspin they put themselves in. Yeah.
While I don't actually think it's unreasonable to say that this attack is serving the ballroom purpose, there is no other way to characterize the court filing or what members of Congress are saying in response. There's a chorus of unanimity. It's time to build the ballroom. The simpler explanation is it's just true at face value. It is actually time to build the ballroom. Security is more difficult off-site, so why don't we have a proper venue for presidential events on-site at the White House?
That's a good
question.
question.
I do love a good hoax theory, and will always defend thinking critically about official government narrative.
Yeah, absolutely.
On principle, it's very important that we do.
We do, yeah.
It's also important that we think just as critically about the hoax theory itself, too. Because beyond the Blue Sky feed showing this guy is politically predisposed to do...
Is Blue Sky still a thing? I thought that they were shutting down or something. Maybe not, but I don't know.
Exactly what he did, beyond the fact that if this is a hoax, he has nothing to gain from it. He may get life in prison. In exchange for what? Money he won't be able to spend if he planned to give it to someone else close to him. That's apparently news to them, since his family was calling police on him, not helping with the scheme. Beyond the shooter having no reason to act this way other than pure Trump hate, believing he was actually selected by Trump to do things in Trumpy service requires me to accept even more preposterous premises. Like most things in life, a plausible hoax relies on a simple cost-benefit analysis. Analyze the incentives. People do what's in their interests. So in an actual hoax like Jussie Smollett or any one of the grab bag of backward swastikas spray painted somewhere to collect GoFundMe bucks, the aim is low risk, high reward. You do just a little bit of damage to collect money or fame, but you don't put yourself or anybody else in any real danger. That's why the supposed crime always occurs out of sight, like 2 a.m. polar vortex Chicago, or otherwise late at night when, dang it, the security cameras weren't working for some reason. So add new ones to the list of things the GoFundMe money is for.
Man, the Jussie Smollett stuff, that brings me back.
But this case, if it's a hoax, is the exact opposite. It's massively high risk for almost no reward.
Absolutely. There is no reward for him. Like, I mean, maybe it's premature for me to say no reward, but I cannot see any sort of reward for this. Like, I don't know. If there's something that I'm overlooking, please let me know. Like, point it out to me.
In plain public view, with hundreds, maybe thousands of witnesses, the risk of blown cover is almost a guarantee, and the physical risk is even greater still. With all the guns drawn from different security forces, it's a miracle that there was no friendly fire, and actually, it still remains possible that there was. So all that danger for what? To try to influence polling, which Trump has never cared about and won't move anyway, or to make a court filing to try to get a ballroom done, which almost certainly will not be legally decided on that basis anyway. This plot would risk everything to gain nothing. And I get it. Trump is Hitler. That's why we have to shoot him. But it's also fake every time we try. But no matter how Hitlerian you think Trump is, do you really think he takes the cost benefit of that deal, that he would put not just himself, but his own family members, his own cabinet members, and everybody else in that venue in danger of getting shot for such little upside? Well, come on. His people were actually protected, clearly.
It's, I mean, I feel like I'm just saying the same thing over and over again here, but it's absolutely ridiculous to come to that conclusion. Like, I don't know. I guess they do think Trump to be some Hitlerian warlord that is absolutely evil. So maybe maybe in their mind, he would put the lives of his friends and family in danger for some political points. But I simply don't believe that.
Were they? Because a Secret Service agent was shot. But even if Trump's closest people were protected in this plot, do you really believe he would make service workers suffer for such a silly stunt?
There was a server next to us who,
That's right.
because we were literally, they were picking up the plates because we was about to have dinner.
That's right.
And they come running in and she hits the ground with us and she's shaking and crying.
Right.
And Ali Vitale and I are consoling her, telling her it's going to be okay.
Right.
We ain't know it was going to be okay, but
I have the same thing.
I am grateful that it was, that it was.
Yeah.
Now, to be...
Yeah, I'm grateful that it was okay too. As far as I'm aware, no one died.
Totally clear. Simone Sanders...
That doesn't mean no one was hurt, but no one died.
He's not saying hoax in that segment. It's just a description of who Trump apparently made suffer if this was all a big self-serving hoax. But even though it seems ridiculous to say, yes, Trump would make those poor servers tremble in fear for their lives just for a slight bump in the polls or the prospect of a little bit of an edge in a lawsuit, well, that is exactly what they believe. Yes, Trump would ruthlessly inflict pain and suffering on others for little or no reason at all, which is exactly the reason we would have to shoot him, but we don't. He fakes it every time, also because he's that bad of a person. In other words, the reason any explanation is acceptable is because the answer is yes to anything other than my committed worldview might have some holes in it. I will never consider that possibility. I'll put holes in other people before I do.
Yeah, we need to learn critical thinking again in this country. We need people to be able to think critically about their own beliefs and their own thoughts, and to be able to take in new information, but take that information in critically and like make sure that it is accurate and truthful. Like it's. I'm glad that this man is going to be in a box for a very, very long time.
Luckily, they have a terrible record trying to put holes in other people. Oh, well, that's also evidence that it's all fake. Someone would have succeeded by now, would they? Again, consider...
Well, he has a lot of protection around him.
Simpler terms. Maybe they're just bad at stuff, which is why they generally embrace a philosophy deflecting personal accountability, blaming others for their problems, believing everyone else owes them automatic prosperity, which isn't true and isn't possible anyway. Where there's any doubt, incompetence is always a better default explanation than sophistication.
Don't attribute to malice that which can be attributed to stupidity. Is that the phrase? Whose razor is that? What is that? It's someone's razor. I don't know. It's early enough in the day still that my brain's still waking up.
Because incompetence is way more often true. After all, if there is one thing more ridiculous than calling these three right-wing, it would be calling them sophisticated. Thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate that thoughtful discussion down below, and especially over on X. That is at ML Christiansen. You're always welcome to coming out and chat in my live streams as live on Wednesday and Sunday nights. Looking forward to it. Goodbye.
Thanks, Matt Christiansen. Always appreciate seeing you. Always appreciate your videos. You bring up you bring together some great clips and great points, and you seemed to always be a very logical and critical thinker. Anyways, yeah, it was not a hoax, despite what everyone tries to say. It wasn't. The guy did it of his own free will, of his own actions taken, and now he's going to get to sit in a box for a long time, and that's a good thing. Take it easy. Oh no, you've ended up in my den. You must think that this is the end, but you have no need to fret. There is still more to come yet. Click on subscribe to let YouTube know just how far this channel should go. More will come later, or if you so need, click on another video to see more of me in your feed.